What is going on, Your Message Matters Challenge? I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. Welcome to day 5 of the Your Message Matters Challenge. Hey, if this is your first day here, nothing to worry about. Today is going to be a fantastic standalone event all around how to get your message out there to a greater degree by building up your own virtual event. And I'm so excited to see what Pete has in store and Pat does, because every time that they talk about this, there's just something new, because the virtual event space is such a new space. Now that we live in a post-COVID world, we have seen so much innovation in this space, and we at Advance Your Reach are always wanting to be cutting edge when it comes to this stuff. So that's what you guys are gonna get today. You're gonna get some cutting edge content. So hey, if you are ready for some cutting edge content, type in the chat, cutting edge, or I'm ready for some cutting edge. Just type in the chat, cutting edge, because this is exactly what we're gonna be about. My name is Jed Olson, once again, the Director of Customer Experience and Product Development at Advance Your Reach, and of course, your MC for the week. So let's go ahead and get to some quick announcements, and then we'll get into the content. So this Your Message Matters Challenge, once again, is 7 days to transform your message, increase your impact and income, and grow your business. And today is growing your business through getting your message out there through your own event. Yesterday, we were talking about getting on other people's events, other people's stages, what Pete calls the OPS secret. Now, today is going to be about your own events, your own platforms, and your own stages, and particularly around virtual events, because we've seen this work not only in the scale bucket, but also the start and momentum buckets as well. Once again, if you are unfamiliar with this, that's what bucket you find yourself in business. Are you starting? Are you trying to gain momentum? Or are you trying to scale and grow a business that's already well established? So no matter where you're at in any of those buckets, today is going to be some killer content for you. Like I said, cutting edge right here. As always, make sure to check the announcement section for replays. That's where we keep the replays section in. So you go to the Your Message Matters Challenge Facebook group, and at the top, there's an announcements section. The pinned post is the one that you'll see, but if you click See All, you'll see all the announcements that have replays and other important things to be aware of. Now, guys, there is still time to submit your 2-minute story from day 2. So we have already broken records, guys. I cannot believe it. This beats 2020's record. This beats 2019's record. We are already past how many videos have been submitted, and we want to see if we can double that tonight. Pat is still reviewing every single one of those videos and is going to be commenting on your video. So if you want some feedback on how to share your message in a more powerful way, by all means, there's still time. You have until 11:59 Pacific Standard Time tonight to submit that 2-minute powerful story. If you need to catch the replay on day 2, make sure once again to check the announcement section and use the hashtag when you submit your video, hashtag your message day 2. That's the number 2, as you can see on my screen. All right. Now, of course, we have homework every single day, and there's going to be some amazing prizes. For the story contest specifically, our biggest prize is our Signature Talk Execution Workshop, where you get to work with the one and only Pat Quinn and his signature team of coaches. So if you want to be able to have this experience where we charge our clients $10,000 and get it for free, then you've got to be a part of this contest in order to win. And of course, we're giving prizes out each and every day for all the homework that we have from this challenge. Now, guys, you heard yesterday, we have the stage to scale method. So, hey, let me know in the chat, has the past 5 days been valuable to you? I hope that it has. I think that it has. I know I have gotten some value out of it. And I've seen this content. I've heard this content over and over again. But there's always something new to learn. And if you want to go even deeper with us, then please go to advanceyourreach.com/join. We have a limited window for our new cohort of students for an 8-week coaching program that includes an online course. Check it out at advanceyourreach.com/join. All right. As always, we're going to have prize winners announced at the end. And now I'm going to get things over to our trainers, Pat Quinn and Pete Vargas. So I'm not sure who's going first today. Pat, I see you on the screen, so why don't I let you take it away while we get started with day 5 about your own virtual event.
Hey, Pete's here, and Pete's going to take this off right from the beginning. Hey, Pete. Or maybe he's not.
Sure. Unmute, guys. Unmute. All right. Hey there. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Hey, PQ, you got to see me put a vision out last March around an idea that I thought was going to change the way that people do virtual events. Really quickly, in about a minute, because I want to get right into today, talk about what you got to experience, because you've seen it consistently, Pat, over 5 years, is like, I see something that's going to not just have an impact for us, but have an impact for our students. And more times than not, it's amazing to see just the fruition of what happens as a result of that. So speak to the topic at hand today, Pat, because we got a special guest, Pedro Adao, today that's going to be with us. But I'm not going to bring that guy on until we talk about everybody out there building their own event in 2021.
Yeah, so for the last 5 years, I've been attending events with you, and you've been putting on some amazing events that have community, that have interaction, that are absolutely exciting for people to attend, because they not only get to hear the speaker speak, but there gets to be interaction and there gets to be community, and you get to know each other. And I know last March there was frustration because we couldn't get together at a live event, and we didn't want to just do like a one-way webinar, like where we just talk to people and you just sit idly by and watch people talk, and nobody wanted to do that. And we wanted to figure out how to do this. And your vision just came, and your vision was implemented. And not only did you implement your vision, you've been, I don't want to say copied, we've shared this vision with the biggest names and the smallest names in the business, and they're all using it now. And so the goal was to create an event that was held virtually, but had all the benefits and all of the things that a real live event would. And so we wanted interaction between the speaker and the audience. We wanted the speaker to be able to see the faces of the audience, because there's a real-time feedback cycle of nodding heads and cheering arms, and of smiles or concern or fear that a speaker can see in a live room, but you never could see in a virtual event before. And then the opportunity to see other people, that the audience can see the other people, and there's audience momentum of laughter and sadness and buying and cheering and whatever it is, there's momentum in the audience. And then the community. At any live event, the people that you meet at breakfast, the people that you meet during the breaks, the people that you sit next to, is such a huge part of that event. How can you replicate that in a virtual setting? But we were able to do it. We were able to give people an opportunity to form friendships, to get feedback from each other, to ask questions of each other, to form lifelong bonds, business partnerships, referrals. We were able to create a community of a live event, but in a virtual setting. And so from beginning to end, your vision was, what can we include that makes this an experience? What if you got something in the mail and open it? What if we could all eat together? What if we could all drink the same drink together? There were so many things built into your vision, Pete, and proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding. That event was an amazing event. But I think flattery is the biggest form of, imitation is the biggest form of flattery. And so many other people have replicated this 360 interactive style of event that you visioned and your team put together, that it's absolutely an incredible vision. And I can't wait today for you to share this vision and share how this is implemented. Certainly can be implemented by a big company and a big studio. But what I love about it is that the same model can be implemented by a solopreneur on a shoestring budget in the basement of their home or in a spare bedroom. It's doable for everybody if you are committed to an interactive experience that replicates the live experience. If you're committed to that, Pete, this is what we're going to learn about today. This is something everybody should have on their calendars for 2021. And Pete, I can't wait for you to teach it to us and give us the opportunity to learn how we can fit it into our strategy for 2021.
PQ, great stuff, bro. Sorry, Jennifer. Keep going. Hey, PQ, great stuff. Join us in Clubhouse, bro. I forgot to bring Clubhouse up, but hey, we're going to talk about Clubhouse a little bit today. And I actually did confirm that we will be having an incredible person that joins us from Clubhouse next week. And so super excited to have you guys here. Super excited for you to be here today. And I'm going to bring Pat up here on stage. Jess up on stage. Like everybody else, I'm excited to be here. Well, glad to have you, Jennifer. And so your buddy Pat Quinn should be joining you on stage here in just a second. Facebook backstage, great to see all of you guys. It's incredible to have you guys. About to show you exactly what it takes to build a virtual event. And so I'm really, really excited about today. So great to have you on Facebook. Hey, listen, yesterday we talked about this idea of being on other people's stages. I told you in 2021 that we are committed to being on 100 of other people's stages, 100 of other people's stages. How many did you commit to? Remember, like today on Clubhouse, I'll be on 5 or 6 stages today, with thousands of people. In a couple of weeks, I'm hosting a stage for Marie Forleo. We'll probably have 5,000 people on that stage. And so my question to you is the power of taking your message on other people's stages is a big, big deal. And so what was your commitment? I told you 100. Tootie said, I've already got 3 booked. Barbie said, I want 2 minimum. Shelly Lee Davis said, I want 52 stages, 1 a week. You realize that wasn't possible in a pre-COVID world? I have 4 kids. I have no desire to be on a stage a week if I have to travel. But I'm on 3 stages right now, backstage on Zoom, Facebook, 3 different Facebook groups, and Clubhouse. That's 5, sorry. That's 5 stages at one time. Now, this is my own stage, and today I'm going to teach you how to build your own stage. But yesterday was about being on other people's stages. And today is about building your own stage. Because if you don't know this, we were the first in this industry last year to do this right. And then one after another, you think about them, you name them, they followed our lead. And so today is all about building your own stage. And here's the cool thing. I could teach you 13 different stages that you could build, but we're going to drill in on 2 stages today, 2 types of stages. The virtual 360 interactive experience is the first stage. And I'm going to take you behind the scenes of my garage. Yes, of my garage. The second type of stage we're going to teach you how to build is your own challenge. And I have got the challenge guy who many, including myself, say the best in the world, is incredible at building challenges. He's not just in Clubhouse with me today, but he's also going to be here on this stage today with you, Facebook, with you backstage. I see Sally Cleveland getting very excited about that. And so today we're going to teach you the 13 stages that you could build, but we're going to focus on 2. We're going to focus on 2. And so, guys, I am so excited about today. I'm so excited about, just what we've got cooking. Welcome to everybody. Wow, this is one of the bigger groups that we've had on Clubhouse. Clubhouse, invite people. Facebook, share this on Facebook right now. What we're about to do, we're about to take you behind the scenes here in a second, behind the scenes of building your own stage at your own home, your own apartment, your own studio, whatever you want. So share this on Facebook. I'm going to give out, hey guys, whoever shares this on Facebook, let's give out 5 Your Message Matters t-shirts to 5 people randomly who share this on Facebook. Or if you're adding some people here on Clubhouse today, just take a screenshot of the folks that you're adding, like take a screenshot of that, tag me on Instagram, and I will pick some people to give one of these Your Message Matters shirts out to you guys as well. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. I want to give out a bunch. Let's give out a bunch. So share this on Facebook. You can share it on Facebook. Hey, backstage, I know you can't share it. Clubhouse, you can invite people. And so I'm excited about today. Today is going to be amazing. Hey, listen, I want to see that again. What are you committed to? What are you committed to in 2021? Like so far, let me ask you this. This is day 5. How many days have you been with us live? Facebook and backstage. Show me my folks backstage and Facebook. Amy's not typing right now. She's stretching. I want to know how many days you've been with us. I have lots of 4s and lots of 5s. You know the crazy thing? That people check out of the challenge halfway through. I had some of the greatest professionals like Shelley Lee Davis say, I have never stayed this long nor engaged this much in anything I've ever done. I might be paraphrasing it a little bit and in very past history, but I have with this. And that's going to pay off, and that's going to award you for that. Now, let me ask you this. We're 4 days in, and I've got lots of day 5s. And if you're day 1, don't worry. On Sunday, team, I don't know the link, Julie, but on Sunday, we have a masterclass. And this masterclass, I believe that there will be 10,000 people sign up for it. And listen, everybody from the challenge is not only invited, everybody from the challenge, if you registered for the challenge, you will get access to backstage for free on Sunday. And so make sure that you go to messagechallenge.com/masterclass, messagechallenge.com/masterclass. Register, because whether you've been here 1 day or 5 days, Sunday is going to be game changer. Sunday is the biggest event that we do internally, and it's the only time we do it once a year. And you're going to want to be a part of that, because Pat and my team and I are going to be on there, and we've historically known to answer hundreds of coaching questions on the back end of that training. I would block 2 hours from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would block 2 hours. And if you want your questions answered, I would block more than 2 hours. So backstage, Facebook, Clubhouse, I want to encourage you to go there. Messagechallenge.com/masterclass, messagechallenge.com/masterclass. That's where you want to go to get registered for that. Here's my question to all of you. Turn your videos on backstage. Show me my backstagers. Show me my backstagers right here. Like, let me see my backstagers. Yeah, backstage. I see a D Price, Mama D. I see Pam Huffman. I see Amanda Starr. I see Hani and Bobby and John and Teresa and Jackie and Dr. Wong, and Todd's just kind of playing with his hands. He's not waving at me. I see Frank Murphy. Valerie, be careful. I see you driving there. Alito Rogers, I see you just kind of looking at me all nice, and I see you like serious today. Brian Callahan, hey, keep scrolling. I want to see my people who I don't see. All right, I see page 2. Page 3 is on. Michelle Christ is driving. Okay, here we go. Ethel, Nancy, Sid, Susan, Robin, Katie, Bonnie, Paul, Veronica, Mark, where are you guys? James, where are you? Alan Powell just turned on his camera. Robin just turned on her camera. Veronica just turned on her camera. Remember our rules. The only way you don't show your face is if you're driving, you've got permission. If you're naked, don't turn your camera on. Those are the only 2 reasons you cannot turn your camera on. And, okay, cool. And so, yes, I'm stoked about that, guys. So listen, here's my question for you, and we're going to dive right in today. We're going to dive into building your own events. What are you committed to thus far 4 days through this challenge? What are you truly committed to? What are you committed to? I want to know that in the chat. And team, I want you to give 5 shirts to those on Facebook and 5 shirts to those backstage that move you. Jed, 5 people that move you. I need to see people who are Alan Powell and Ethel and those folks. They got to turn their cameras on unless they're the 2 rules. But I want to know, what are you committed to thus far? Because we're only 4/7 of the way done. And oh, by the way, we got some bonus stuff. Pat Quinn and I are going to be coming to you from a $20 million studio in Las Vegas next Tuesday and Wednesday. And next Thursday, Charlene, we're going to be giving out stages like Oprah gives out cars on her show. Like, you're going to win a stage, and you're going to win a stage, and you're going to win a stage, and you're going to win a stage. Like, we're going to be giving out stages like it's candy on Halloween. And my wife spares no expense. Like, she does candy right on Halloween. It's going to be like candy next week. But you have to be here throughout this week to really understand and be one of the ones that qualify for those stages. And so I want to know what you're committed to. I'm committed to joining Pro Plus and starting a huge push to reaching stages. Man, the comments are coming in too fast. But team, I want you to pick 5 and 5. Cool? I want you to pick 5 and 5. That's what I want you to do. This disappeared on me. It must be refreshing, so I'll leave that alone for right now. And Clubhouse, I want you to join us. I know you love Clubhouse. I see all of those pretty faces. I know all of the audio on there, and I see you guys, but I want you to join us on our masterclass as well this week. And join us at messagechallenge.com/masterclass. messagechallenge.com/masterclass this week. But guys, I'm excited about today. I'm excited about today because your message matters. Your message matters. And if you're paying attention this week, we've been talking about this methodology, and I want to show you guys something that I showed to everybody last night backstage that many of you might not have seen. But this is it. Number 1, you have to have clarity on the problem you solve and who you serve. And that's what day 1 and day 2 was all about. Clarity on the problem you solve and who you serve. Give that to him. It's not picking up. That's the first thing. The second thing is you want to become a world-class communicator. We talked about that on Tuesday. Do you realize, Clubhouse, I invite you to do this on Facebook. I invite you to do this on Facebook, Clubhouse. I invite you backstage. I invite you tonight at midnight, Pacific Standard Time is the deadline for you to submit your 2-minute story. And you're not only going to get coaching from a man and a team who have coached the greatest entrepreneurs in the world. We built Dean and Tony's speaking team, their training team. We spent time with Damon John in his office, coaching him in New York. We spent time with a lot of people, and they will pay a premium to have us work with them one-on-one. And now we're asking all of you to put your stories out there and us to be able to give every single person who submits it the right way. You got to follow instructions. #message. Ooh, Jed, come on, Jed. What is it? Your message day 2, right?
Your message day 2.
Your message day 2. Thank you, PQ. Your message day 2. I was looking in the Facebook group last night, and I'm still seeing Your Message Matters Day 2 or My Message Day 2 or all of these. We're clicking on #Your Message Day 2, and literally there have been over 500 submitted. And we believe that tonight there will be 1,000 of you that submit your 2-minute story. Why are we asking you to put your story out there? Because we believe that the greatest marketing tool you have are the words that come out of your mouth, the way that you speak. There's power in the tongue. There is life and there is death. And we believe that we're building a community of life-giving people and messengers who can create whatever they want in this world. And we're going to teach you how to be the most powerful communicator that exists out there. But we can't do that if we don't hear your story. So today, it's the deadline, because on Sunday night, we're giving tens of thousands of dollars of prizes away, where some of you will get the chance for Pat Quinn. How many of you want Pat Quinn to build your talk? How many of you want Pat Quinn to review every piece of communication that you have in the next 6 months and give you one-on-one feedback? How many of you want that? Well, I'm going to give one of them away on Sunday, Jed, and I'm going to give one of them away next Thursday when we do the half-day live stream giving away stages. I'm going to give away at least 2 signature talk workshops with Pat, and it's going to be based on you as storytellers. So tonight is the deadline. Become a powerful communicator. That was day 2. Day 3, we talked about scaling your products and services, because you don't change somebody with your talk. You change somebody when they get the chance to work with you. You don't change someone from communication. You catalyst them to a point where they're like, man, I want more of this. I want more of this. And then when you work with them one-on-one, one-to-many, through a digital course, through a service, when you work with them, you make a change and an impact in their lives. That's what day 3 was all about. And then yesterday, day 4, the first part of the stage. OPS, other people's stages. Leveraging other people's stages. That's what yesterday was about. Which brings us to today. Today, we talk about building your own stage. And Pedro Adao will be with us here at the end. Tomorrow, we talk about Sam, dating Sam. Who's Sam? Sales and marketing. You're going to know whether you're in the start bucket, the momentum bucket, or the scale bucket, what strategies are actually working for you in your bucket in business right now, tomorrow. This is stuff that people don't want to tell you tomorrow because they just want to sell you whatever it is that they have. I'm going to tell you the 7 to 10 sales and marketing strategies that you should be doing in the different domains tomorrow. But today, and Dean Graziosi will be with us here tomorrow. But before we get to tomorrow, today we focus on your own stages. I love this. And if you guys buy into this, you buy into our methodology. This is one of my mentors. He helped me buy Michael Hyatt's company this year. And he posted this post on Facebook in Clubhouse. I want you to hear this. His name is Roland Frazier. He said, these are the top 5 ways to generate revenues fast and maximize the short game. Now, I want you to see this. He said, whether keynoting for cash or speaking with the intent of selling something from stage, I've not found a safer, faster, easier, low, no-cost way to generate anything from a few $1,000s to well over 7 figures in 30 to 90 minutes. It's pretty easy to create a talk about something you love and share it with other people who have similar interests. And as you can learn from Pete Vargas III at Advance Your Reach, which offers several extremely valuable workshops on this topic, there's virtually, we have that, Jacob, Ryan, there's virtually an endless demand for speakers on all sorts of topics. If I had no money and no contacts, this is the vehicle I would choose to create a substantial income from scratch. What I want you to see is this. In this. Watch this. Share it with other people that have similar interests. Clarity on the problem you solve and who you serve. Create a talk. Signature talk. Scaling power, or the signature talk, the power of communication. Generate anything from a few $1,000s to well over 7 figures in 30 to 90 minutes. Scaling past the stage with your products and services. Whether keynoting or speaking, the stage. The 4 parts. He didn't know I was going to take this and dissect it so geeky. But the 4 parts of our framework, you got that, Ryan? The 4 parts of our framework exist in this quote. And we're now getting on the latter part of it, which is the thing that's prohibiting you from getting your message out to the world. It's prohibiting you from getting your message out to the world. And that's what I'm excited about, is this. And so, guys, as I dive in today to the last part, which is your own stages, yesterday, the only time in 2021 we will open up this program, we opened up our Stage to Scale program. 8 weeks of coaching with Pat Quinn and I, helping you dial in every single piece of this framework, every single piece of this framework in 8 weeks. Like crazy. We only do it once a year. And I'm so excited. Bill Tabbitt and Tiffany and Lorena and Tootie and Ellis and Robert and Hani and Andrea and Anna Kumara, Shella Lee, Angela, Julie, Sarah, Nima, Kelly, Janet, Heather, John, Grace, Bobby, Elizabeth, Danae, Venetia, James, Omar, Yvette, Monica, Emin, Lahana, Joyce, Maddie, Courtney, Hazel, Jennifer, Linda, Bruce, Susan, Shauna, Amy, Judith, Catherine, David, Marco, Simone, Michelle, Andrew, Trisha, Laurel, Jocelyn, Torin, Brian, Jacqueline, Jolyn, Mark, Kay. Make sure I'm at James Cannon whenever I come back later, have said I'm stepping into the arena. because I actually buy into the fact that Pete is teaching us the holistic approach, the whole puzzle, not one specialty piece, the whole puzzle to helping you get your message out to the world in 2021. So guys, if you haven't joined us, I don't even know where to go. Our messagechallenge.com/join, I think, or advanceyourreach.com/join. Like one of those two are going to take you there. I think it's advanceyourreach.com/join. Join us in this program. But I want to continue to walk through this today, the power of stages. Yesterday, we talked about digital and we talked about other people's stages. But today, I want to talk about your own stages. And listen, I'm not going to talk about physical stages because I believe we're a couple of years away from physical stages being back to where they were in a pre-COVID world. Consumer confidence, the studies just came out for hotel resorts in the world. And they ask customers when, and I'm going to curious, if you know the answer, don't cheat me here. Like if you don't know the answer, I want you to take a guess. But one of my buddies, his family builds billions of dollars, $1 billion resorts, like they do billions of dollars in resorts. And they surveyed their customers and they said, when will consumer confidence be back to a pre-COVID standpoint? And the answer shocked me. When do you guys think it is? Never. If that could be true. But the surveys came back and said confidence in a pre-COVID world won't be back until 2024. And Tiffany, Dr. Jim, that means a person staying in this room and then a room next door. Like they're not even that close, but there won't be a confidence level until 2024. Does that mean everybody won't have that confidence? No, that's not what I'm saying. But in a pre-COVID world, like it won't be back to that level. So what does that mean? That means more than ever before, you doubling down on digital events and your own stages matters. It matters. It matters a lot. And so today we're going to show you how to build your own stage. And we're actually going to take you behind the scenes of this studio in my garage here in Arizona. And yesterday, like, listen, I don't want you to lose track of this. Clubhouse, Facebook, Backstage, I don't want you to lose track of this. Last March, we had lost $5 million in losing physical events of top-line revenues. And our event in Orlando, how many of you were supposed to be in our event in Orlando? Anybody there? Anybody? We had lost $5 million. Janice, you were supposed to be there. I remember. You're going to be in the back praying for me too. I know. I wish you would have been there. So be praying for me today. But we were saying, my team, I was at a make or break. You might see an ad on Facebook and it's true. Like when I put something on Facebook, it's actually not some like thing there's truth behind that story. And I was sitting with a mentor of mine and they're like, if you're going to lose $5 million of top line revenues, you might have to let some people go. And I sat there and I said, no, I'm going to redefine, actually first I cried. I was crying for several days. I was in my couch in Colorado. And then I called another mentor of mine, Michael Hyatt. How many of you are here because Michael Hyatt told you about this challenge? Put Michael Hyatt in the comments. Thank you, Michael Hyatt, for inviting Mary and Carol, and thousands of you are here because of Michael Hyatt. Thousands of you are here because of Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. Thousands of you are here because Eric Worre. Thousands of you are here because of Pedro Adao. I called Michael Hyatt, and Michael Hyatt on Zoom looked me in the eyes and he said, Pete, entrepreneurs get paid to solve problems. What are you going to do? And this epiphany came to me. I don't share this story much. I sat on my couch. I got in my quiet space. I listened to that voice inside that aligns with me, not the one that lies to me. There's a voice that always aligns and a voice that always lies. Just want you to know, it's the battle that we all go through. And I listened to that voice align. It all of a sudden overshadowed the voice that kept lying to me that I was going to have to let people off and that my business wasn't going to make it and blah, blah, blah. And I started writing this stuff out in this notebook over here that I have. And I started redefining what our virtual event was going to be. And I said, I'm not going to email my 1,100 people coming to Orlando like everybody else is emailing and saying, our event is canceled. See you next year. You get no refund. Like, that's kind of what the emails, they were going out like clockwork. People, I saw them coming across my desk. And I said, no, I'm calling a State of the Union. I'm first going to get my 1,100 people on a training, and I'm going to tell them that we are going to do these couple of dozen things with this virtual event that's never been done in this way that nobody's ever done it before. And my team got behind me. My team coined the phrase in the name of what this is called, the 360 Interactive Virtual Experience. And my team said, I was like, do you think we can pull this off? And my team's like, yeah, we can. So we got on the call with the 1,100 attendees, State of the Union. And I told them, we are not canceling our event. We can't host it in Orlando, but we're doing it the same dates. And it's going to be called the Advanced 360 Virtual Interactive Experience. And I said, I promise you, you will feel like you're in the room. And I went out and I defined all of the things that they would experience at that event, and they would feel like they're in the room with me. And then we had 30 days to pull it off. And guys, not only did we pull that off in 30 days, we pulled off one of the biggest challenges that happened in 2020 called Rise Up World. Who was a part of Rise Up World? Put RUW if you were a part of Rise Up World. 151,000 entrepreneurs joined Rise Up World. And Pedro is going to give you the framework here in a little bit to launch your own challenge this year. In 3 weeks, we pulled off Rise Up World. Out of those 1,100, 800 of them said, yes, we're coming to your virtual event in April. I'm like, yes. Now we just got to pull those couple of dozen things off. And then we went and did Rise Up World. And Rise Up World added another 3,000 people to our virtual event. 3,000 more people. And all of a sudden, our virtual event is upon us, and we're scrambling to do all of these things that would create the experience that this is part of it right here that you're going to learn about. And we pulled it off. And at the end of April, here's what I'm proud to say. I went back to that webinar. I looked at the things I promised people. And I got to tell you, I lived up to every one of my agreements except for one. Because that one did not make sense for them. But in the moment, it made sense for that. I thought, I'm going to bundle you with like-minded people in the same rooms so that you can have an incredible experience with same-minded people. And my team said, and we surveyed our community, and they said, they don't want to be with the same people. They can't think bigger if they're with the same people. Intertwine them with other people. So out of everything that I declared in that webinar, we pulled it all off but one thing. Not knowing how we were going to do it, but seeing it up here. And today, not only do you get to learn that, you also get to learn how we pulled the challenge off. And I'm so excited about that because, as many of you have heard, in 30 days, in the month of April, from April 5th to May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, baby, Cinco de Mayo, from April 5th to May 5th, we did more revenues in that 30 days than we did all of 2019 combined. Because of the two strategies that you are going to learn today. You couple yesterday's strategy with the two that I'm teaching you today, and then the 7 more that I'm teaching you tomorrow, you will absolutely get your message out to the world. You can count on that. And so, yes, Forbes featured this article that said this business owner was demolished, and here's how he pivoted himself into growth mode. The next week, we made more, like I said, in 1 month than we did all of 2019. The next week, Mr. Tony Robbins is on the phone with me, and Mr. Tony Robbins is saying, Pete, like, I'm interviewing him, but he's asking me how I did it. I'm laying it out for him. He goes and breaks the record with a challenge. He goes and breaks a record and actually calls it a virtual interactive experience. My team coined that phrase. My dream team, who those of you that choose to work with us in the next 8 weeks, you're not just going to be working with me. You're going to be working with Pat Quinn. You're going to be working with my dream team in a very powerful and profound way. They coined that name. And obviously, I've talked about Pedro. We got to help Pedro with his event in September. We helped Grant with his event in October. We helped Dean and Tony with their event in October. We helped Traffic and Conversion with their event in December. And we helped Eric Worre with his event in December. All of these people that were in the same position that I was in, we laid out the same model that I'm going to give you today. And they did over the events that we spoke into in the course of a few months did over $100 million in revenues. Grant Cardone said it was the most profitable boot camp that he's ever had. His team were blown away. They didn't realize, just like my conversation with Tony, didn't realize the possibility that existed. And these are all clients of ours. And so today, that's obviously the picture with me and Tony. Today, here are 12 different events that you can choose to build. But I'm going to strongly advocate for 3. I know I said 2, but I'm about to say a 3rd. And it's the number 13. Jackie, I want to make sure, Jackie, on my team, that we put 13 on there. The 13th stage that you could go build today. I literally forgot to start Clubhouse today. I started Clubhouse late. And literally started Clubhouse late. And we got 120 people on Clubhouse right now. 120 people on Clubhouse right now. And we started it late. You could go start a room on Clubhouse. Can you see the green button right there? You see the green button that says start a room? I started a room at the top of the hour. Clubhouse is giving you the opportunity to have your own stage with the push of a button. Now listen, what I want you to see is I don't have thousands of people in there. I only have 120 people in there, but they care about this topic that I'm talking about today. You could have 12 people in there and it could make your year. But you can start a stage anytime you want. And last week I got in my own head because as of last week, I had not started a stage because I was so concerned about what if nobody comes into my room? Like, I have to get past my limiting beliefs too. I have them. But now what a Clubhouse has given to you is the opportunity to start your own stage every single day around topics that other people want to know. My wife said, is it just business topics? No. I mean, last night it was like there's a LeBron James fan club. There's parenting. There's real estate. There's video. There's relationships. There's stuff for Latinos. There's stuff for, there's stuff for like I'm Latino. There's stuff for everything. Like all of my interests, there are rooms that exist on there. There's faith-based. There's every type of denomination. Like there's every interest on there. Clubhouse has given you the opportunity to start a room and have your own stage with the click of a button. The click of a button. That's the first stage that I want to recommend to you today because it's the easiest stage to get started. But man, I see somebody in here right now in my room that I brought up and I've been listening to her quite a bit. Her name is Isis and you need to follow her. If I'm saying it wrong, but you want to know why she is cruising on Clubhouse and all of you on Clubhouse, go follow her. She's cruising because she knows how to communicate powerfully. People get exposed on here if they're not a powerful communicator. There's no reshoots. I can't go back and change things up and say, oops, made a mistake. I can't edit my video 7 times like most of the people. Let me take that back. A lot of the people that you follow, that's the 9th take that you saw. That doesn't feel very authentic. Like if I mess up, I mess up on here. People want to know real. They want to know authentic. They want to know powerful. That's why Isis is doing so well on Clubhouse. That's why she is crushing it. That's why she's moderating rooms. So guys, it is critical that the communication aspect of what we talked about on Tuesday matters. And I want to make sure that you don't leave today without sharing your story. So that's the first one. That's the first stage. It's number imaginary 13. But the other ones that I want to focus on today are what I call the 360 interactive virtual experience and challenges. You guys are going to get a little bit of bonus time today because Pedro is going to be with us here in about 15 minutes. You guys are going to get like bonus time, and then backstage, I will bring Pedro backstage with us as well. So do not leave early. Pedro will be backstage with us as well. But I'm not going to talk about the challenge because many of you were part of Rise Up World Challenge. Here are all the people that were a part of Rise Up World Challenge. I'm not going to talk about that because Pedro will. But what I'm going to talk about is the how to create a 360 interactive virtual experience. A 360. Put 360 IVE. 360 IVE. If today makes sense and you're committed to creating your first virtual event, then I want you to put 360 IVE. And you're going to do it from your home, your apartment, your bedroom, your garage. And here's why my team named it this. They said, this is what we want to create. Side camera. We want to create where we can feel like people are in the room with us. Like, I see you, Judy Fisher. Judy, reach out. Judy, can you give me dap? Give me a little dap, Judy. Give me a little dap right there. I see you, Pat Quinn. Give me a little dap. Come on, Pat. Quit it, Pat. Do a little dance, Pat. Do a little dance, Pat. Come on. I see you, honey. Honey, can I get some love? I see you, D. Price. I see you, Shelly Lee. I see you, Angela. I see your heart, Tootie. I see you, Linda. I see you, Jasper. I see you, Susan. I see you, Sophie. I see you, Mitz. I see you, Mark, dancing a little bit. Isabel, I see you. Carol, I hope you're not reading right now. Tiffany Cole, I see you. Jonathan, I see you. Mary, I see you. Charlene, you're showing up powerful, girl. You better be working with us in Stage to Scale. I'm just telling you that, Charlene. Based on your question, we will rock it for you. Rosalind, I see you. Just chilling. Miss Raspberry, yeah, I see you back there. I see you, Teresa. Ooh, double Teresas right on top of each other. What is the intention of a 360 virtual interactive experience? Is to say, let's quit doing Zoom and let's do human connection. Make people feel like they're in the room with you. Don't do this if you don't feel this, but people who are backstage that have their camera on, do you feel like you're in the room with me, Monica Butler? If you feel like you're in the room with me, say, I feel like I'm in the room with you, Pete. That's what a 360 virtual interactive experience does. Human connection. COVID has caused a massive depression in our world. Events, the event industry has taken billions and billions of dollars of hits. I don't necessarily care about that because creators will figure out a way to get over it. What I care about is the human interaction and element. And you doing a good job of making people feel like they're in the room is what a 360 interactive virtual experience does. The second thing you want to know about it is you want to create all of the senses and touches. You want them to feel. You want them to physically touch something. You want them to connect. You want them to laugh. You want them to cry. You want them to smell. You want them to taste. You want them to see. Like all of their senses. My team said, let's engage all of their senses. I said, awesome. Let's do it. And so today I want to advocate for this. I want to advocate for the advanced 360 virtual experience. And I want to use an acronym today. I already told you that we have done it. We did it. We had to figure this out. And I want to use an acronym today to help you understand in the next 10 minutes what it takes to really pull off your own virtual interactive experience. And here's what I want you to know. And I'm kind of bummed because I think I forgot one thing and I'm not going to forget it because I am going to, guys, can I downsize this really quick? I'm going to need your help because this slide, Pat Quinn would say what I'm about to show is the most important slide here. And I am going to go to virtual success blueprint here. This is a mastermind. I'm doing this real time. Like, listen, I don't want to be perfect. I want to get you the right thing. This is literally something that I did a mastermind for 100 of the biggest thought leaders that exist out there. And I'm going to find the thing that I'm looking for, because this really matters to me right now. Because if you can see this and experience this and actually taste and touch this, I think you're going to be like, wow, I don't want the rough draft 4. I'm going to show this to you guys because I forgot one slide here. Here it is. Here it is. And once I get this, guys, you can bring it up, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I want you to see this, because here's the misconception about a virtual event. Come on here. There we go. Okay, I'm almost there. What a lot of people think is, and I will find this, I just had it. What a lot of people think is they think that they have to do this virtual event in a way that's like Tony Robbins, or they think they have to do it in a national studio, or they think they have to do it like Eric Worre. And the reality is you don't have to do it like any of that. There are actually 3 ways to do your virtual event. And what's happening is a lot of you are being discouraged because you think that you have to do it the way that you've seen it done. And you're not being told about the way that it can be done. And I'm pulling up that slide and I'm really closely here. So guys, stay with me on this, but I want you to see this. And if I didn't do this, I wouldn't be serving you. That's why I'm doing it. Most people wouldn't do this because it is all of a sudden like, oh, that means I have to get off course. And I don't want to do that. And I absolutely want to do that because I want to show this to you. The 360 virtual interactive experience can be done like this. A lot of you are seeing the national studio and you're like, I got to do it in a national way. I got to do it big. Well, some of you might do it big. Some of you might do it on the national studio, and this is going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars to do on a daily basis. Yeah, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. Most of you aren't ready for that yet. Some of you are. So live in the possibility that it can exist, but maybe it doesn't exist today. And then there's the opportunity. I've done it one time here. I've done it this 2 times. You hear my dryer going off because I just sat in my cold plunge here a minute ago and got really cold before I got in front of you today because I wanted to bring all of the energy. But that is the local studio. A lot of you in your hometowns for $800 to $1,500 could rent out all of the local studio at somebody else's studio who could conduct it for you. And this might be when you have hundreds of people or 80 people and you want to put on an incredible experience, and maybe your home doesn't give you the space to be able to do it that way. But I've only done 2 or 3 at a local studio. I've got my go-to local studio in Colorado Springs. I've got my local go-to studio in Phoenix. But this is what I want you to see as the possibility for your virtual event this year, because I'm going to ask you all to commit to a virtual event. Grant Cardone said, this was the actual shot with Grant Cardone. He said, dude, no, he said, dog, where is your studio? That is so intimate. Make sure they can see this good. That is so intimate. I said, Grant, it's my home. It's my basement. What you can't see here is there's 2 cameras right here. And there's 1 camera over here with the side angle. And you see my mess, and you see my books, and you see my water, and you see my markers, and you see you. You see you. And you see all of the people, and you can see my screen behind me. Tomorrow, the screen you see behind me, it's going to be a little bit of shock because I'm going to see many of you in a way on my screen that you haven't been seen before. Guys, stay right here. This is the possibility of what I want you guys to create this year. That is what I want you to create. And it doesn't take a lot. Grant said, Pete, that's one of the most intimate setups that I've seen. I need to go pull that footage. One of the most intimate setups that I've seen. Guys, you can pull that down. And so what I want to do is I actually want to take you through what you've got to do in order to create this virtual experience in a powerful, powerful way at your home. How many of you would say, Pete, I think I'm ready for the national? Like, how many of you feel like, Pete, I'm ready for the national? Like, I'm committed. I'm in the scale bucket. I'm ready for the national. How many would say I'm ready for the local studio? And you're in the momentum bucket. How many of you would say, Pete, I'm ready for the home studio? Let's create a virtual experience in 2021 straight from my home. And let me tell you why you want to create it. It will not only attract customers, it will make your customers so happy, because what you're not doing is doing the same old Zoom room, sit behind my desk with a nice light behind me setup. Pat Quinn and I are in Vegas next week. Vegas. And we've got it set up where we have a 360 virtual experience straight from a home that we are at, bringing a training to you guys. Because I won't settle for sitting behind a desk very often. And I don't want you to either. So let's go through how I took a worst case scenario, made it a best case scenario, help you make a commitment to when you're going to host your first or your next virtual event in 2021. And then I'm going to bring on my buddy Pedro. You guys are going to get a little overtime today, and you guys are in for a treat with Pedro here in a minute. The first part of this is the B. And I want you to take some notes right here, because if you want to create an incredible virtual experience, this is what has to happen. The first part is the buy-in. The buy-in. That's what the B stands for. The buy-in. And so with the buy-in, what does that mean? Buy-in. You actually, here's what nobody is teaching you to do. How do you get people to buy in to want to come to your virtual event? Anybody want to know how to fill up your events? It's one thing to set it up, but you know how lonely it would feel if it's like, all right, team, let's do this. We're set up and I'm like, how many people are here? And it's like 7 of us, but it all says advance your reach. Is it our only team? Yeah. Oh, cool. Hey, Pat. Hey, Jess. Hey, Daniel. You know, like, no, you don't want to set this up and not have people there. And don't worry, you don't need lots of people. You need 12 people. Say, I need 12 people. I need 12 people, or a few dozen people. And so the first part that you have to do is you have to get people to buy in. Buy in. And the 2 ways to do that, and I'm only going to talk about one of them today, is the way that you have to do that is by creating a ticket map. And a ticket map says, I want you to tell me what your event name is tonight in the homework assignment. A ticket map says your event. And this is why we just got paid a lot of money from a lot of people, because of this one strategy that I had never taught before. And a ticket map says, what are all of the strategies that are going to bring people in to my virtual event? This is how you actually get people there. And so, yeah, a simple one is you start to DM people. Another one is you start clubhouse rooms. Like, listen, I have an event right now. I'm in Clubhouse. 100 and something people had listened at one point, but nobody else has taught them how to fill their events. Right now, it's still about 112 people that are listening right now. You get in Clubhouse. You DM, direct message people on social media. You run ads. You get on OPSs. You do a customer appreciation. You get referrals. I'm going really quickly over these. But let me tell you the number one thing that we did, which is why I'm not going to spend a significant amount of time here. You run a challenge. We did preview events, like hour-long events that would draw them into event. You have this ticket map. And if you, for those of you in the start bucket, would just have 3 or 4 ways that you're sending people into your virtual event, you will have dozens of people come to your event. If you're in the momentum bucket, you might need 4 or 5. And if you're in the scale bucket, get to the point of 6 or 7. With Eric Worre's event, we had 10 different ways we were sending people to the event. For Grant, we had 8 or 9 different ways we were sending people to the event. For our event, we had 6 or 7 different ways because we didn't even know all the ways that existed. I have got to execute the ticket map for 6 different events that have had over 100,000 people attend them. 100,000 paid attendees. Yeah, nobody wants to teach you about the ticket map. Let's just build a virtual event. Well, you build it, they don't come. They come when you have a ticket map. And the number one strategy that I want to focus on today with Pedro here in a second is a challenge. This is how you get people to buy in. This is how you get the people to buy in. That's the buy-in. That's the B. Let's get to the E. Let's get to the E. The E is the experience. They now come. What are you going to do to give them the experience? What are you going to do to create the experience for them? Well, let me tell you what I promised those 1,100 people on my call. I said, you're going to get a physical box in the mail that has all of the curriculum. Has anybody gotten a physical box in the mail to a virtual event that you went to? Say physical box or say box. Say box on Facebook, say box backstage. Clubhouse, just yell it out, box. Do you know who created that? Yours truly. It was one of those downloads that I got from God while I was sitting on my couch, realizing that I could create something that other people would do. The physical box has people open it and experience it. They got a physical box. They got pre-training from me in videos. You might be like, wow, okay, now I see where a lot of this stuff was created in the market. They got pre-trainings. And here's what my pre-trainings do. That your pre-trainings don't need to tackle content. They need to tackle anybody who gets this right. First person to get this right on Facebook and Zoom's getting another shirt. I'm giving out shirt. Yep. Bam. Mindset. Bam. Mindset. If you're late on Facebook, you probably are about to get it. Somebody got it. Somebody got it on Facebook too. They've got to tackle mindset and how to prepare for your event. Close the door. Get babysitters, like do all of that. That's a second thing you do to create experiences. A third thing that you do to create experiences is you do live check-in. Depending on how big your event is, it could be 1 to 3 days in advance. As soon as they sign off on their release form, you can do it in a way, and all this can be outsourced. I'm about to show you how to outsource this. 1 to 3 days. If you don't have a lot of people, a few dozen, you do it the day before. If you have thousands of people, you do it 3 days. And you can outsource all of this. And you know what it's like to actually check in for a virtual event and have a live check-in? A live check-in? It's a game changer. And so we did a live check-in. The fourth thing that we did is we had a private Facebook group that got them excited ahead of time, just dedicated for this event. Now they're interacting with people. The fifth thing that Pat and I did is we said we've got to lower the amount that we teach. Normally in a live setting, we would go 60 to 90 minutes. We went 35 to 45 minutes. And we've got to add, this is the key, break out rooms. And the thing that you do in the breakout rooms is two things. Let them work on what you just taught them. And let them have discussions with 5 other people. 15 minutes to work, 15 minutes to have discussions. This is huge. Eric Worre just threw the biggest event in the United States that I'm aware of. Who was at Eric Worre's event? We helped with that. He didn't know how this was going to go. He said that because of this, that was like one of the most talked about things that people talked about. These are just 5 things that you can do to create an amazing experience. The last thing is the setup. How many of you would say, I am not techie? Say techie or not techie. Everybody in the comments, techie or not techie? Techie or not techie? Yeah, techie or not techie? Yeah, look at that. A lot of not techie. Some techie. Here is what you want to do with the setup. I'm about to show this to you. I'm about to take you behind the scenes and give you the last 2 things. Here's what you want to do from your home. I'm not going to talk about the national studio. I'm going to talk about the home studio, or in my case, the garage studio. So here's what you want. You want a monitor. You want a monitor. Hey guys, can we switch to the people? Here's the setup. And the T is the best thing. I'm almost done. Can we switch to the people on the monitor? Look at that. I see you, Facebook. I see you backstage. Here's Facebook. Here's backstage. Give me some love, Facebook. Give me some love backstage. Frank, that's kind of weak sauce right there, Frank. You're just kind of like this. You know, come on. I see it. Can we go to another screen? Let's go. Let's go to another screen. Let's move it to the second screen. Look at that. I see you, Kenneth. I see you, Ruben. Keep going. I see you right there, Christian, IE9. I see you, Sandra. I love how you show up, Jackie Raymond. Keep going. Let's get to that 6th page. We're going to see, oh, that's where the slackers start right there on page 4. Robert, I see you, Robert and Raymond Wright. Come on. Michelle, appreciate you. Hey, guys. Like, you want a screen right here. Go back to my slides. You want a flip chart right here. Your PowerPoint and your flip chart is all you need. And here's the thing. It would be incredible for you to have 1 TV that I can see people and 2 TVs that I can see people right here in front of me. 2 TVs. Now, what's beautiful is if you can have a side camera. Grant Cardone, by the way, I'm going to share with you like how you outsource all of this. A side camera not only gets you from a side and gives a cool angle, it gets the people on the monitors to be able to see themselves. I see that Todd just ate or drank something. Todd, I hope you're, it's not 5 o'clock yet, Todd. It's not 5 o'clock yet. So this is what this side camera creates intimacy. And can you follow me? You see a wide angle shot and a close-up angle shot. That's 1, 2, 3 cameras. 3 cameras. Guys, you can see my garage door right there. I could open that and the garage would open right here. That's my house right there. Like, can you see my house right there? That's over here's my house. You can see it. We're not in a fancy studio. And then you come over here, you can see this light. We have 1 light and you have 2 lights, 3 TVs, 3 cameras, 2 lights, a flip chart, and You got the good-looking guy back here that's switching back and forth right here with switchers right here. You guys can actually see right here. He's switching back and forth right here from different views. So show them different views. Let's switch a little bit. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. I've never used a switcher in my life. There's one. There's another. There's a third. He's just switching back and forth. Oh, so you can switch to me too right here? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Like, guys, he's just switching back and forth. Hey, have I met you guys prior to this week? No. No. Do you guys even know my name?
Paul?
Paul. That's right. It's Paul. It's Paul. So there you go. Like I want you guys to see the possibility that exists from your own home. Like, I don't know what the cost is here, but the cost in Colorado is a few $100s, like per day, to do it from my home. And if I wanted to save, I would probably be like, let's have 1 camera and 2 cameras. And let's get rid of these monitors. And I just want to see people on this monitor. Like, you just begin to cut little things and you can outsource somebody in your local community to do all of this. To do all of this. I don't touch a camera. I don't touch a TV. I don't touch a switcher. I don't even know if that's what it's called. I come up here and I communicate like we taught you to communicate on day 2. That's what I do. And we need you to communicate and live in your genius. We need Paul, also known as Pete, to do what he's good at so these guys can do what they're good at. That's the setup. That's the setup. And the last thing, what does that lead to? What does that lead to? It leads to total sales and total satisfaction. Total sales and total satisfaction. B plus E plus S equals T. To think that 30 days prior, my mind was telling me, like, am I going to have to shut this down? Am I going to have to lay people off? I had just crossed a record that many people don't ever get to in business. I had been so limited on my thinking of the impact that I could have on this world that I always thought, well, if I can get to $1 million, if I can get to $1 million. And as soon as I stopped thinking about the money and I started thinking more about the people a dozen years ago, it's amazing what began to happen, because in 2019, we hit 8 figures as a company in our 4th full year in business. And now I'm sitting here in March saying, what am I going to do? And 500 customers later, 500 customers later, and 8 figures in the course of those 30 days, in the worst month in our history of my life in this country, because COVID was unknown, we created more revenues than we had all of 2019 combined. And you want to know what we've done? Not only have we doubled down on this strategy, those people that we know in our life have doubled down in this strategy. Guess what? I don't have to spend $6 million on a studio, and I don't have to spend $20 million on a studio. I can spend hundreds of dollars on a studio and have a similar type of impact. And that's why I want you committed to this in 2021, not from a national studio, not from even a local studio if you don't want to, from your home, from your apartment, from your bedroom. Rob Dial told me, Pete, I cannot believe what this has done for me. Thank you. Just from his home in Austin, Texas. That's the possibility. So what I want to do, and by the way, I don't know the exact number, but I think it was 21 hours of testimonials and like a 9.7, 9.8, 9.9 net promoter score from the very first time that we pulled this off. 21 hours. People stayed at the end of a 3-day, 10-hour-a-day event. They stayed at the end for 21 hours giving testimonials about how impactful it was for them. And the next week, Tony Robbins was in that exact studio that I had done that at. 21 hours of testimonials. So don't think this is just about the income. This is about the impact. I asked you guys a question at the beginning of the week. I asked you the question. I said, is income or impact more important to you? Don't tell me what I want you to hear today. What I want to hear today. What did you say at the beginning of the week? What did you say at the beginning of the week? Now you're saying both because you picked up on it. But most of you, if you're in my community and you stayed with me for 5 days, you're not that person who all they see people as a dollar sign. You care about them and the impact that you can make on their lives. But too many of you don't have the answer both. And without the answer both, it's going to be very hard to put your message out into the world like you want to. And so I'm asking you today, before I bring Pedro Adao up here, I'm asking you today to make a commitment. Join us for the next 8 weeks. Starting on March 1st, me and my team, every Monday curriculum, every Friday coaching, every 2 or 3 weeks, a lab where we reinforce the past 2 weeks and make sure that we actually go do something with it. 4 unbelievable bonuses, a ticket to our event in June, 8 weeks of coaching, 8 weeks of curriculum, lifetime access to all of it. All of it. And we only do it one time a year. One time a year. People last year paid us millions of dollars, many people, hundreds of thousands of dollars, many people. And the same thing that we did for them, it's what this whole program is about for you. It's time for you to stop just living in the bucket of impact. And it's time for you to start living in the bucket of both. Of both. And that's what we will do for you. Give us 8 weeks. Give us 8 weeks and your life will never be the same. I'm not going to talk about the $17,000 of value that the program has. That's not BS value. People have paid that. But I am going to talk about the fact that this is the program that in this industry, more people finish into completion because of how much we care about our students. We have one of the highest, if not the highest completion rate because it's not a course. There's coaching, there's implementation stuff, there's curriculum, there's check-ins, there's application. There's a graduation, then there's a big event, and all of that stuff is included in this for $1,997 or 3 payments of $700 and change. I think it's $739. Guys, that program is open for 5 or 6 more days because after that class begins, class starts on March 1st. And if you heard yesterday, yes, you are getting the sales and marketing intensive as a fast acting bonus through Sunday night. $1,000 intensive that our $25,000 students go through. You're getting access to that through Sunday night. But this is what I want to do. And then I'm going to bring Pedro on. And this is for today. And by the way, for all of those students, we will have hundreds and thousands of students from all across the world in this. We have, I believe, close to 10,000 students that have gone through this. Approaching 10,000 students. Today's fast acting tonight. We are going to walk you step by step. This is the first time we've put this out to the world. How to outsource, where to find it, what to ask for, the checklist on getting it set up. every single detail about setting up your home studio is going to be walked step by step by step, not by Pete, because Pete doesn't even know what goes beyond the scenes. This is from my in-house event team. They're going to show you step by step through this course that we've put together. It's never been taken to the general public. How to set up your home studio step by step. For those of you that take action today or took action yesterday, don't worry. I want to ethically bribe you to take action because I see what this will do for you. You might not see it, but you need somebody to believe in your message more than maybe you even believe in it. And 8 weeks from now, that will flip-flop. You will believe in it as much as we believe in it. But you got to have somebody that believes in it more than you. And so I'm going to ethically bribe you. And the other way that I'm going to ethically bribe you, I am going to do a training for the first time ever. My peers have been asking me for this. Only this graduating class, this class, and my accelerators, not even my peers, will get the training where I walk step by step through the 24 different ways that you can drive tickets to name your event. Step by step. Those two bonuses are what we're going to do today. You take action today at advanceyourreach.com/join. Team, that should be everywhere. I think that's the domain. Is that right, Ryan? advanceyourreach.com/join. Is that it? I hope so. Guys, if you will take action on that, I'm telling you, it'll be game changer. So before I'm bringing Pedro up here. We're doing some bonus time. This is what I want to close with, because here's what your homework assignment is going to be. Here's what your homework assignment is going to be. And Pedro, I'm going to ask you a question when you come up here in just a second. But here's your homework assignment. In November of 2015, I hosted my first event, OWN, my own event. And there were 20. Please do not think that you need thousands or even hundreds of people at your first event. There were 27 people. And some of you heard this. I had a $20,000 program and I inserted this $10,000 program because I'm like, there's no way anybody's going to buy that. And yes, everybody, a few of them will buy that. My hope was 5 or 6 or 7 of them would take us up on that. And at the end of the event, nobody took us up on that. And 12 people took that. One event of 27 people. Here's your homework assignment tonight. I want you to tell me when your 360 virtual interactive experience is going to take place this year. I want you to tell me the name. Jed, I'm asking them for the name. I'm asking them for the name. The other thing that I'm asking them for is the date. I'm asking them for the location. The name, the date, the location. And I want you on Facebook to speak about it so confidently and with deep conviction. And Jed, you know I've never done this. You know I've never done this, Jed. The top 3, Jed, the top 3, we're going to get on and we're going to announce it next Thursday. This is coming from a guy who's helped drive 100,000 people to live events in the last 5 months. Pedro can tell you that, and helped generate $100 million. The top 3 that my team feels convicted about, I'm going to speak into the strategy of your event. Pete Vargas, not a team member, Pete Vargas. And every single person, Pat Quinn, every single person who's submitted their story by midnight tonight, will get to actually be invited to watch that too, Pat. They will all be invited to watch. I will not speak into their events, but they will be able to watch me speak into 3 other people's events. So yes, homework assignment from Tuesday Matters. How many of you want me speaking into your virtual interactive experience event this year? How many of you? How many of you? A few of you? Cool. A few of you? Yeah. Yeah. Facebook? How many of you? Yeah, I see some wows on Facebook. And so Jed, really quickly, what is it? Gosh, I keep forgetting. Huh? No. I'm saying, what's the hashtag that they need to use today? Hashtag Pat or Jed?
Your message day 5 for today.
And your message day 2 for Tuesday if they have not submitted their story.
That's right.
Right? Cool. Yeah. So that's what I want you to do. And I want you to go to advanceyourreach.com/join, because this is the box that gets mailed to all of our students that are coming and joining us in the program this year. This is the physical box that's going out. Hey, Pedro, come up here. I got a thought for you, bro. Pedro, you know how the Pedros roll. The Pedros roll, is Pedro up here? Yeah. Pedro, you up there? You know the Pedros roll a little long-winded sometimes. Pedro, you there?
I'm here, man. This is amazing. How are you, buddy? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, bro. Hey, do me a favor. Like, here's what I'm thinking, man. I think people are going to get like double dosage, especially our backstage people are going to get double dosage of you, which is incredible. Here's my thought. I don't want to shortcut this because it's so important, dude. And you know, people about the 90-minute mark cut off. Could I ask you to start us off tomorrow around challenges? Because I really don't want anybody to miss this. And I just think it's so critical. I talked about one thing today, but it fits in so perfectly with tomorrow. So can I ask you to stay backstage today, but can I ask you to kick us off tomorrow? Would that be cool?
Of course, man. Happy to.
Dude, do me a favor. Talk about what we just said, and we'll surprise them tomorrow with what we came up with, Pedro. We'll surprise them tomorrow with what we came up with. Talk about what you've seen with what I just said about virtual events, but talk about like what you're going to be talking about with challenges tomorrow. Like hit on that for a couple of minutes, dude. And then I'm going to have us go backstage today, and you'll be backstage with us. So why don't you do that, guys? Put Pedro up on the screen.
Yeah, awesome. Pete, do you want me to unmute on Clubhouse?
Oh, yeah, dude. Unmute. Thank you. See, bro? I'm going to unmute right now. Unmuted. Go ahead, Pedro.
I'm learning stuff here, too. This is insane. Like, adding Clubhouse into this challenge framework. So cool. What's up, everybody? Guys, incredible. You have been Pete has held nothing back. He never does. He has literally given you guys exactly step by step. And I want to just share a quick picture. I want Pete to see this. I know he's probably checking his phone. And so guys, see if Pete will jump on. I want him to see this. Guys.
Oh, bro, I'm right here. I can see you, bro.
Hey, bro.
I see
so
you.
For those of you guys that are on this, if one Pedro is not already enough, now you've got 2 Pedros. But look right here in this picture, 3 Pedros. So guys, this is me, of course, PV3 and his dad, who's Pedro Sr. Pedro Vargas II. Okay, so there's 3 Pedros right here. This picture was taken in Las Vegas right before the world shut down. Wow. This was basically barely a year ago, maybe a year ago. Okay. This weekend, Pete arranged a meeting for me to show my challenge model to a guy named Roland Frazier and Ryan Dice. I went to this Vegas event to support my friend Pete. Me and Pat Quinn and his team were literally walking around the arena, sticking envelopes on the back of chairs for hours. We were there. We had a good time. Pete was supporting Grant Cardone. The world was normal as we knew it. Little did we know that within a matter of weeks, the world would shut down. And this challenge framework that you're a part of and virtual events, this 1-2 punch of challenges and live events would be the thing that would rescue Pete's company, the thing that would rescue Tony Robbins' company, the thing that would rescue so many huge entrepreneurs today, and also help brand new entrepreneurs launch. Guys, my life today looks nothing like it did a year ago when this picture was taken. Why? Mastering challenges and I've done now 2 live virtual events. The way that Pete is going to teach you how to do. And between running challenges and live events in the last 12 months, everything in my life has changed. I mean, everything. And so, guys, I just want you guys to really hear what's happening here. This is history. History is happening. You are going to look back on this time forever. Just like people that were alive when Kennedy got shot all know exactly where they were when they heard the news that President Kennedy was assassinated. I'm telling you, we're all going to look back and remember what happened when the world shut down. And I made one very important decision when the world shut down. And I made a decision that this pandemic was going to happen for me, not to me. I knew it was going to be probably devastating. I knew that there were going to be many businesses and industries that were going to be decimated. And guys, I'd already been broke, beaten down. I already gone through a massive financial devastation 7-8 years ago when my real estate company collapsed. I know what it's like to be broke and I've lost everything. And I'm like, I'm not doing that again. So I don't care how bad this gets. I don't care what's happening. It's not this time. I'm not going backwards. So I made a decision that this pandemic was happening for me and not to me. And I have 3 kids. I have a 21-year-old, a 19, and a 17-year-old. They're also going to remember this pandemic for the rest of their life. And I was very aware. I'm like, I want my kids, when they think about this pandemic, to have the memory of seeing their dad show up and freaking serve and help more people. Like helping as many people as humanly possible when more than ever, people need to understand how to launch, grow, or scale their business online. Because if you don't know how to do this online thing, you're out of business. And to have the key, to have the cheat code, to have the blueprint, and to not show up and serve at scale was not an option. And so, guys, I'm telling you right now, I don't care if you're sitting there and you're like, well, Pedro, you don't know me. I'm sitting here. No one knows me. I don't have an email list. I don't have any fancy friends. I'm starting from scratch. Yep, so did I in May of 2018. I was a financial planner living in obscurity. I had no email list. I had no followers. I was not an influencer. I had no fancy friends. And because of creating my own stage through the power of challenges, we've been able to accomplish all we've accomplished, guys. Became an 8-figure business in our 2nd year. We've done 47 challenges in a row profitably. And this is going to be the key for many of you. And Pete, I'm happy to be here tomorrow and break that down. Guys, you come back tomorrow. Don't miss that session. But one little thing I want to do, Pete, you promised 3 people that you would speak into the virtual event. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's exactly right. And I don't do that often.
No. Here's what I'm going to do. Whoever you pick as the winner, I'll also jump in and I'll speak into their challenge.
Yeah, incredible, guys. Incredible, incredible, incredible. That's awesome. I'm not on Clubhouse right now, but I love that, guys. Pedro, I love it, man. Hang out, dude. He's going to be the first thing tomorrow. The first thing tomorrow, Clubhouse and Facebook and everybody. He's going to be very first, and we'll kick it off. I promise you. It just went a little bit longer today, and I want to make sure that we serve Backstage because Backstage has made that investment in themselves. And guys, I hope that you will make an investment in yourselves. I really, really do. I really, really do. Like, this is what's at stake. Like, look at all of that $17,000 worth of value. advanceyourreach.com/join. The 2 bonuses that we've included for today. Every day, we're going to make this an ethically bribing situation because we know what we can do for your message. Not only are you getting the sales and marketing intensive, not only are you getting a shirt, not only are you getting this box over here that's sitting on my table right here. Today, we said you're getting our first time ever masterclass on creating your ticket map and the step-by-step blueprint on building your 360 virtual interactive experience in your home. In your home. Like, guys, I really want to encourage you, go to advanceyourreach.com/join. Tomorrow, it's going to be a power pack day. Pedro's going to start us off. Shoot, I'm going to then come and talk about some additional strategies around sales and marketing. Heck, I might bring the other Pedro tomorrow just because I remember that day sitting there. And I'm going to make sure you guys really understand the genius of Pedro if you don't know Pedro, meaning this Pedro who spoke today, and my dad if he's here. But Dean Graziosi is going to be joining us to really close things off around sales and marketing tomorrow. I'd block 90 minutes again because it's going to be an incredible, incredible day. Incredible, incredible day. To qualify for what we just talked about, your homework assignment for day 5 has to be done before tomorrow. And for everybody who submits their story, you're going to get to hear those 3 and the winner from Pedro. You're going to get to hear those 3. All you have to do is step into the arena from your day 2 challenge. Pat Quinn, before we go backstage, bro, I know the lot covered today. What would you say, PQ? I'm going to bring Jet up to give some prize winners away, and then we're going to go backstage, PQ.
I think there's probably a lot of people who are like, I'm not ready for this. I don't have an audience for this. I don't know if anybody would show up if I did this. And I think that's a game that you're playing up here. And I think it's a game that we all play up here. I think, Pete, that you mentioned your progression. You went from crying about it to serving. Pedro, you mentioned your journey. Like, I want to serve during this time. And I think if you're thinking nobody's going to show up, I'm not ready, what if it doesn't work? You're thinking about the wrong person. Who you should be thinking about right now and who you should be thinking about as you decide, should I sign up for the Stage to Scale 8-week coaching program? Who you should be thinking about is the person out there who is struggling. Because I know there is a person out there right now who is struggling with a problem that you have the solution to. And they are going to continue to struggle until you get good at this. And the fastest way to get good at this is to work with people who've mastered it. In a lot of cases, working with the people who invented it. Tomorrow, you're going to hear from the guy who created the challenge. Today, you heard from the guy who created the A360 interactive event. If you want to get good at this, and the reason you should do that is not for personal glory and not for fame and not for money. If you want to get really good at this, and the reason you should want to do that is because there's someone out there who you can serve. There's someone out there who is struggling, who needs your help. If you want to get good at this, you are 8 weeks away from knowing how to craft your message, how to design your product, and how to get on other people's stages, your own stages, and use sales and marketing techniques to grow your message, grow your business, and start a movement. You are 8 weeks away. And that fast acting bonus ends coming up here. And so you want to make sure you've done a number of things, but one of them is to get into this 8-week program. And Pete, I just think it's brilliant what Pedro has shared with us today and what he's going to share with us tomorrow. And I hope everybody's winning the mind game up here that says, you shouldn't do this, you can't do this, this is crazy. I hope that they're pushing right through that and saying, I have something that will help others. I have something that I'm passionate about, that I'm good at, that I've been gifted to do, and it will help others. And I'm not going to listen to the voice that says you shouldn't, you can't, you won't. I'm going to listen to the voice that says serve others in this time. And I'm committed to doing that. And so I'm going to say yes to this offer.
I freaking love that, PQ. Thank you for that, guys. Yeah, I'm chilling here. We're about to go backstage, Jed. I want to give some prizes away today. And guys, before we do that, listen, tomorrow, you're not going to want to miss it. Don't miss it. Pedro, myself, Pat, Dean, like Power Pack Saturday. Like, that's crazy.
Super Saturday. Come on.
I'm Super Saturday, bro. Super Saturday. And so, guys, and for all of those that are part of the class, like, I want to know, like, you're part of S2S class of 2021. Share it with pride in the comments. Share it on Facebook, because tomorrow there's going to be something behind me that Pedro's going to freak out over. Dean's going to freak out over. Tomorrow there's going to be something that we're going to add to the 360 virtual experience and the challenge experience that I would bet to say that Pedro's going to go buy one tomorrow. Like, I would think he's going to go do this once he actually sees this. So you guys, tomorrow you're going to actually get to see a first in the 360 virtual interactive experience that I think is going to be really, really hot to trot. And so, guys, I'm excited about tomorrow. Get your homework done for today. Get your stories submitted. And man, I cannot wait. AdvanceYourReach.com/join. Jed, close us out. I'm gonna share on Clubhouse for just a minute here, and Jed, close us out and take us backstage today. Jed and Pat, you can recap backstage today's lesson for just a couple of minutes, and then Pedro and I will be there here in just a second. Guys, I can't wait to see you tomorrow, same time at 4:00 tomorrow. Jed, come on up.
Hey, Pete, let me jump in while Jed's getting ready, guys. I just want you to know I have sent hundreds and hundreds of my students through this program. To work with Pete and Pat Quinn and his team for 8 weeks. Guys, like this, basically this is their 2-day workshop, which is a $10,000 workshop being delivered with the course over 8 weeks. So you actually have time to work on it in a little bit more of a metered fashion, where it's not like all just crammed in 2 days. The workshop is amazing. Pat Quinn is the master trainer and developer of taking people that have a message and then actually amplifying it and turning into like a wow delivery. And so I have put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of our students through this program. What I have seen every single time is people come out of this thing with not just more clarity about their message, but like increased confidence, an increased level of skills. Guys, my biggest recommendation to all of you is acquire skills. There's a classic saying that skills pay the bills. This is an opportunity for you to grow your skill set in being a communicator. This is your chance to grow your skill set in learning how to gather and deliver training and deliver content and gather people in the only way that you can do it right now, which is right here. Talking to a computer screen, talking to a camera, delivering your message, and serving people in these mediums. This is the only game. And so this is an incredible opportunity to get 8 weeks of high touch training. This happens once a year. And if you're at all on the fence thinking about this, stop thinking about it. This is going to be an amazing investment into your up-leveling your skill sets, guys. Go to advanceyourreach.com/join. Take advantage of this. And this is literally something I could not recommend more highly than what I've said. So hopefully that gave Jed a little bit more time to get himself ready to give away some cool prizes. And if you guys are backstage, I'll see you there in a second. Back to you, Jed.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So got a few prize winners to announce and give you guys a recap of what tomorrow's homework will look like. So let's go ahead and get started. So our prize winners for day 4, drum roll, please. are going to be Serene Nielsen, Dana Marie, Art, I'm not going to mispronounce your last name, but you see your name on the screen, Kelly Osgood, and Sammy Maxino. You all win a Airbnb gift card. Once again, guys, post your homework daily for a chance to win these daily prizes. For tomorrow, what is the title or theme of your event? What is the name? Name your event. And what's the date that you're committed to it? We want you guys, what gets scheduled gets done, as the saying goes. And that's what we want you guys to do when it comes to digesting this homework and working through the workbook on this. Let us know those two things in the Facebook group. Use the hashtag YourMessageDay5, YourMessageDay5. One winner will win a domestic trip for 2, so domestic airline tickets for 2, so you don't want to miss on this one. And of course, 10 other winners will get t-shirts. And again, guys, a final reminder, there is still time to submit your 2-minute video of your story. And now, Pete's added this in. If you submit your story, if you put yourself in the arena, you're going to get rewarded with this special event that Pete just talked around, where the top 3 are going to get spoken into around their virtual event and their challenge. Can't believe that. That's crazy. So make sure to do that. Upload your video to the Facebook group using the hashtag YourMessageDay2 when we launch this contest. So that's YourMessageDay2. And Pat Quinn will review it and give you a little bit of feedback. And, best of luck if you're one of those 3 lucky winners. Make sure, of course, that you are looking at advancedreach.com/join. There's more details about it. I've seen a lot of people ask, like, when is it? What are times of coaching calls? All that stuff. Go to advancedreach.com/join to find more details and why this is such an amazing program. I'm excited of being one of the trainers over these 8 weeks. It's a fantastic way to get yourself either in the start momentum or skill buckets to the next level. So we will see you guys tomorrow for sales and marketing with a trifecta of trainers backstage. I'll see you here in just a few seconds.